Let's chat a little bit about the awakened state. When we are using our mind or the brain, we may be too occupied and we may accomplish something because you're occupied in doing something, but in doing so, you may be detached from your basic state of your being and start to be captured or constrained in the mind. And you may find it interesting because you can play the game or watch news, but it comes with the consequence that you're just cruising from this thought to that thought, and some stimulation or some instant gratification, but you may be off the ground, so to speak, and not experiencing life as it is, if I may say so. So what is experiencing life? I think of animals or the plant, I see it here, or also a baby before they pick up words and logic. If you look at the baby's eyes, I don't know if you call it curious, but there's some deep sense of awareness I can feel. Even the fish sometimes I catch with a spear, I remember the fish sitting in front of me and looking at the eyes, and so pretty. And I could immediately feel that my eyes are the same. But their seeing is direct and processed according to how they live. In our case, we may see this or that and start to get into delusion. Oh, that woman is so beautiful. Well, I don't know if that's delusion, it may be just a natural sense. But okay, let's start from the natural sense to think about, well, what can I do in this situation? How to attract her? Maybe I should wear this. No, I should wear that. But I'm not that tall or nice. Maybe I should build my muscle. I mean, you start to talk about yourself, talk to yourself about what can be done. And that might be fine to aim for such potential to be manifested or observed and then get into this game of relationship, whatever. Or it could be money. Someone made some money and you feel like I should get some investment or I should do that job. And in the internet there are a bunch of those information that you get scrambled into all that noise. But unless you are related to your basic experience of it, just a thought for the sake of the thought is just a thought. Maybe like Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. You just play with it. And we just play with our mind and lost in the mind. And you may watch movie and you lost in your imagination and that may be fine. Or is it fine? I question that. And maybe that's the beginning of me. What is this reality we think, or who am I, who I am? And what is truth, something like that. I just heard the bird, that one too. To me that's truth without any decorating with words. It just passed through. And me feeling transparent but there's the experience of awareness, being aware of what's going on instead of caught up or trapped into the mind. So in my case, I may go into that state of a calm and quiet mind and just be. Maybe like, I don't know, ignorant person. Like ignorant is bliss. There's a blissful sensation, or your weight lifted, that you are not burdened to the way of the society, the concerns, and just be. Like a floating in the sky like a cloud, or floating on the water without any concern of the weight, like I do diving. Liberating sense, you might call it. Now, I wanted to talk about full utilization of our talent, which is not just the brain in a shallow part of our brain, do this, do that, make money, do this, but also whole body experience in our existence. And there's a term called Zen-Ki-Gen, full utilization of talent. And what does that mean? That means, in my view, engaged fully in life. So there's a sense of aliveness, or a sense of a blissful sensation. It could be a mosquito biting and you experience that as it is. But accepting everything as it is. I talked about and shared the video that whole body is like eyes. In that video, I was standing 1 foot and closed my eyes to see if I can stand there a long time. If you are only concerned in your brain, you may not detect all the muscle, gravity, and balance as readily. But if you are purely like animal, no brain, no thought, no ego, you can connect to the ground better and be able to stand longer time. But it requires some muscle awareness and training to be using all faculties we've got. So Zen-Ki-Gen, full utilization of talent. And when our mind is empty, you may be in that state while you are meditating. No mind, no self, just be. And when you do Vipassana, you may check breathing, focus on it, and the movement of the lung, chest, or the air going through the nostril. And when you move that faculty to notice those subtleties, to monitor how you feel on your feet or on your forehead, and especially closing your eyes, and then move from the forehead, for example, to the ear and the back of my neck or top of my head, or down at the chest and so on and so forth to the hand, and feel on the fingers, the sensation, and then the body, front, back, side, down to the thigh and feet and toe. You may be able to see how the body responds, and you may just focus on that act. And what does that do? It's kind of like a training so that the whole body is experiencing and you're feeling that aliveness as an experience, but not the concept in our brain. So it's kind of like a becoming animal, or going back to the animal, or go back to the Garden of Eden before the brain and thought get into our mind. So it may correspond to the term such as ignorance is bliss, no mind, no self, ignorant. And there's a Japanese saying, if you're ignorant, you don't catch cold. I can relate to that because they are aware of the whole body experience. Full utilization. Not the brain as much, but the whole existence. So it may be seen like a wild life. Maybe that's what the surfers look for, or painters when they do the painting. And when the mind is empty and from inside, like as insight popping up, to move your hand to draw something as if you didn't exist. And there's even a story of this is Greek sculptor who made a statue with marble or something. And when he was working, he didn't know, but when he finished, he was awestruck and bowed and prayed that something magical happened from him just doing the job, one chisel at a time. Because he was empty-minded, as if the universe was taking hold of his destiny or idea into action. But for him to be able to do that, I believe he must have trained as much as surfers may train, or the painters, or investors, managers, any skill. So the unconscious part comes out more naturally. Therefore, again, Zen-Ki-Gen, the full utilization of talent may bring out the potential within us. And you become one with the destiny. And I think that was Picasso. Yeah, that's right. He said something like, painting does what it does. Or something like that. It's not him doing the job. Maybe I put the word, more precise word in description. But it was something like painting does what it wants, or something like that. So his being, his ego, his self is not there in that moment. Because the unconscious part and everything is one with the flow to express as the nature may want to express itself. So this is just a thought, or thought pieces, pointing how to utilize our talent and be detecting all that movement and even the cell level movement in Vipassana meditation, and the mind is empty. connecting to the core of our being, the way of nature that want to express through us. Maybe that's the word. I think this is in the dollar bill in the US. In God we trust, or in nature we trust the things to manifest, and for us to be having a destiny of what we do by utilizing the full talent we have, or whatever the way we want to express from the core of our heart as our mission. And when that mission is like a may all beings be happy, it may be corresponding to the mission or the will of the universe. So if you have a will, you have a way connected to the way of the universe. And that's our eternal home. And from there, we use our brain. But again, like a sculptor and chisel, you may make mistake and you learn the lesson. As Picasso may have learned, and many others. Why don't we? What is required? Just let go and connect to the core of our being. Empty-minded. We'll find a way. As the nature has found a way to create this whole planet and on. So we are one with the universe. Those plants, bird, cloud, and everything. It is a mindless thought. Let's live our life by utilizing full potentials we've got in the way we really wish from our heart and bring out the potential connected to that. May all beings be happy. Thank you.